With us in studio now is Tom Djokovic. Tom is the CEO of XsunX Incorporated. Their stock symbol's XSNX. Tom, always good to see you.
Thanks for having me back, Don.
You know, you're just such a sunny guy because you are in the solar commercial installation business in Southern California. Of course, this week there hasn't been a lot of sun in Southern California, but more often than not there is. Tell us about you've basically been concentrating on this now for the better part of a year. What's your post-analysis of how things have gone in this first year?
Well, it's gone quite well, Don. I mean, what's important is that we've established a presence. We began to build a brand awareness. We've developed factory direct relationships for pricing. We get exceptionally good pricing, great subcontractors, and more importantly, what we've really been able to establish is a real understanding of the market. And so we started to develop niche market focuses with targeted marketing efforts. There's a mailer going out today. It's targeting businesses in a certain community here locally that has a great incentive program coming up. One of the things we do is we actually include numbers in our marketing materials where we kind of show, you know, what your costs, what your net out of pockets are, what your potential savings are, things like that. Rather than just simply saying savings, we're showing it to people. It seems to be effective. So we're going to be throwing more and more effort behind that.
Well, I remember a few weeks ago you shared a marketing piece with us that you were showing to clients where basically you could show them that the amount of money they're spending on electricity versus the savings they could get with solar, the system actually paid for itself and actually increased their property value.
Well, absolutely, and we've actually taken a step further. One of our new efforts is literally a solar savings account. You know, everyone's got an IRA, some kind of investment account. I mean, the solar realistically doesn't cost you anything. It's like putting money in the bank. And at the end of whatever it is, whether it's a 3-year period on the payback or if you have a 5-year loan, at the end of that loan, every single dime comes back several fold to you. It's probably one of the best investments you can make if you're a business owner, own property, or if you're looking to reduce your costs going into the future, become more competitive.
What's really interesting about solar is most people think of it as a relatively new technology, but it's actually been around for quite some time. But when you're talking to people, Tom, you know, you get this year under your belt, what's the biggest roadblock you see yourself running into?
Well, what I joke with clients is that I'm delivering to you a well-proven, well-established, guaranteed performance type of technology using complex financial models because it's a little bit hard for some people to wrap their brain around it. So even that we've been able to simplify our presentation significantly, break things out, make them very, very easy to understand. And quite honestly, you know, lately what we're getting is a lot of surprise where it's easy to understand and people are like able to digest it quickly and they become very, very surprised at just exactly how aggressive and how beneficial the investment is.
Well, it's immersed itself in our society because you can't turn on a radio, you can't turn on a television and more than an hour not hear a commercial or see a commercial about solar. So people have become, I guess, more educated about it.
Yeah, at the same time, there's also a little bit of fatigue, marketing fatigue occurring. You know, you walk into the average business. We focus on commercial solar only. You walk into a business, and many of them have already been marketed to several times. Fortunately for us, most of these people are sending out very inexperienced salespeople, aren't able to develop or present any kind of a vision, any kind of develop excitement, or really present accurate type of investment return capabilities analysis. And so for us, that's a benefit because we come in and we look like we know what we're doing essentially, and that's a big plus for our efforts.
Now, you had mentioned to me off the air that you're getting into a big expansion. You're going into a huge expansion mode in 2015, hiring new salespeople, taking on additional personnel. Tell us about that.
Well, yeah, Don, we actually have a facility over in Mission Viejo. We actually put commercial solar on the roof of that building last year, or this year, and they have an area they're not using. We're going to go ahead and sublet that from them. We're moving into it, and I've begun to hire, to interview and hire a marketing manager, additional salespeople, and we're going to really focus on what seems to be working here lately, and that's this targeted marketing, where we identify certain sectors, put together important, valuable information in advance, and do direct marketing to them, do intense follow-ups, and we're hoping to really start to see the close rate increase, and obviously the amount of effort that we put out, the amount of leads that we get to increase it as well as a result of it.
So are we talking telemarketers, feet on the street, maybe a combination of both?
A combination of everything. Direct salespeople, feet on the street, telemarketers setting up appointments, people doing analysis up front. So when we send an information to a client, a leader to them, it's not just, hey, start saving money with solar. It's, hey, this is your building. this is what you can do with your building with solar, and this is what it's going to cost you if you don't do anything with it. So we already give them some valuable information up front before we even contact them via phone or knocking on the door.
Now, I would have to think that the sales pitch, of course, includes, you know, all the savings that we're talking about. Again, money is obviously the number one thing that a business owner is concerned about, but I would have to think the green aspect is attractive as well.
Realistically, the green aspect is one of those, well, you know, most people will try to talk themselves into justify their expenditure, right? The green aspect is how they justify it. Let's say out of a 1 to 10, that's number 10. This is a real intelligent financial investment with tremendous returns. And it's all about the buck, and this is a way to save money, and that's really the primary concern, and that's really the major awareness aspect that people take their takeaway from our marketing efforts.
Well, in a market as vast as Southern California, I would have to imagine there's no shortage of potential clients.
As far as you can see, I get on roofs every week. As far as I can see, very, very rarely do I see other solar systems. Edison is starting to advertise commercial installations.
Really?
You think they're my competitor? I mean, you think that you know, people talk about how they're adverse to it. They're not adverse to it at all. They see it's the wave of the future. They're getting into the business.
Once again, the company is XsunX Incorporated. XSNX is their stock symbol. Tom, great luck. I'm wishing you great luck in 2015. Sounds to me like it's going to be one heck of a year for you.
We're working hard to make it that way, Don. Thanks.